I'm wearing orange and blue for my Illini, and then I realized that I wore this on Friday. So it's because it smells a little bit. I was like, oh wait, no, I wore this. So
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what? John didn't even know U of I was good until like 2 weeks ago.
that's not true.
Yeah, I don't think so. But Brandon, you said this last week.
But I didn't know any of the players' names till 2 weeks ago.
There we go. There we go.
But I know him now. I know him now.
And
Pay
that's all that
attention now.
matters. And we've all been there, John. The good thing about your shirt, the good thing is we're not in person, so you can think on your own.
You can smell all you want to, boo.
All you want. There's no judgment here. We don't judge here at the Jam until we judge. Hey, guys. Until we do, right? Welcome in here on this magnificent Monday. I'm Felicia Lawrence. We got John Hanson, Amy Rutledge as well, and we're going to hang out with Brandon Pope in a little bit too.
Yeah, and the snow was a big story here today. Not too bad, not that unusual. This is me creeping on my neighbors. You can see some accumulation. All in all, not that bad. We usually get a couple inches, 5 or 6 inches in March anyway, so this is pretty normal. And you can see that if you want to complain about something, you should have complained last month because obviously things are a lot better than they were then. So some nice perspective from our producer, Lily. So we appreciate Felicia was, and well, we all were. But the good news is this is going to melt. This is pretty quick, and we're almost done with it here for the most part. You can see the radar. There's just still some light rain, maybe some freezing rain a little bit over the Kennedy, but for the most part, it's gone. It's going to be nice over the next couple of days. Not particularly nice, but more mild, 48, 50, more clouds than sun, some rain here and there, but all in all, pretty spring-like over the next few days. Much warmer beyond that in the 7-day. A live look downtown where you can still see the river still green. I think they used all the dye they built up last year that they didn't use and just put twice as much in this year during their surprise. Because it is still green.
It's awesome.
It is. It was like a sense of normalcy, which was cool. I was kind of surprised. The only bar, we had one bar citation in the entire city, it looks like, Clutch Bar in River North for St. Patrick's Day festivities on Saturday. That's only because Amy stumbled out of the bar and puked in a dumpster. That's the only reason they got in trouble. So
my butt did not even leave the burbs all weekend long. We just kept it locked down in casa.
Amy wishes she had stumbled out.
Right? I mean, come on. Don't tease me about something I want. All right, guys, let's get to it tonight. All right, a major federal tax hike could be coming. Bloomberg News is reporting an increase could include raising corporate tax from 21 to 28%, an increase on people making more than $400,000, expanding the estate tax, and bumping up capital gains tax rates for people who make $1 million. Now, if it happens, it would be the biggest federal hike in nearly 3 decades and pretty much follows promises Biden made during the 2020 campaign. Now, John, go.
I was going to say, it's exactly what President Biden promised in the campaign. I think it's fascinating that they're doing taxes next. It looks like a lot of people thought infrastructure, but taxes you can do perhaps using this reconciliation process where you only need 50 senators. It's exactly what they did for the COVID-19 package. And it's purported to raise $2 trillion over 10 years, which is almost exactly as big as the infrastructure package is going to be. So it's going to be a tough sell. It is, because it is taxes raised. Nobody likes that. But it's mainly on the people that can afford it.
Well, 21 to 28%, that's not a little bit of a hike, okay?
Well, hold on. It used to be 35%. So this is like a middle ground.
Well, let me finish.
Before and now. Sorry.
Yes. Let me finish. I just want to add that this somewhat counteracts, though, all those tax hikes that President Trump enacted in the beginning of his presidency, many that were happening on Friday evenings and, when people might not be paying as much attention to the news. And they said the same thing, that these are historic cuts. These are historic tax when you decrease drops. Thank you. When you take it away. These are historic then. And now here it is going back the other way, being historic. So, I mean, this doesn't come as a huge surprise, Democratic president versus a Republican president. But I will say, after the year that we just had, 2020, I think that this money could go to really good use.
I will agree with you, Felicia, on that partly, but we have to look at a lot of businesses in this country. A lot of business in this country made a lot of money this year, where a lot of families were hurting. businesses, especially in industrial businesses, did really, really well. I mean, some industries just boomed this
Good
year
point.
because of COVID. So, maybe we do tax them a little bit more. And like John said, bring it back towards middle ground. Listen, Biden's only going to do this a smart way because these are also the ones that fund his party, right? These are the big donors. So he's got to be smart about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well put.
Okay, well, we have official word out of the Vatican after it received a question on whether Catholic clergy can bless gay unions. The answer, the Catholic Church cannot bless same-sex marriages simply because, this is a quote, they cannot bless sin. The explanation was published in 7 languages and approved by Pope Francis. So I gotta say, not a huge shocker. However, they're taking a bold stance here. So on one hand, you guys know I do identify as religious. I identify as Christian. And so I can understand that they're using a book as a guideline that has been around for thousands of years, and this is something that's really important to them. At the same time, I have so much empathy for someone who is of the LGBT plus community and is a person of faith. I don't know what the right answer is here, but I can imagine that would be really, really hurtful to be kind of rejected in a sense by your faith. We should note that they said that they will bless the people. They just can't bless their unions. I think should be noted. But however, I can't imagine being that person and feeling rejected by something that means so much to me, my faith.
Yeah, and I will say, I think the answer is, Felicia, is to be more inclusive. I mean, they're talking about literature that was written how many years ago? Things have changed. People have changed. The world has changed. And the Catholic Church needs to change with them. And that has not happened. Now, our current Pope has probably been the most advantageous in saying, the documentary that came out that said that they would bless gay people, gay couples, but not the unions again.
Yeah.
I mean, so I feel like they're getting there, but they're getting there so slowly. It's like, what's the point? Come on, guys. The Catholic Church is losing the amount of members it's losing every year because it's not progressive enough. And
That's
people
true.
are turning their heads from it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised
bad.
by this. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time that I'm disappointed by the Catholic Church. I'm not Catholic. Play this to the end, Catholic Church. Most of your members probably don't care anymore, right? And you're going to be doing this in 20 or 30 years. I would assume so, right? Because that's the way that things progress. I just don't understand why they think that they can stop the pendulum of progressiveness that always goes and tick-tocks further every single year and will always do so. Like, play this to the end, Catholic Church. Get ahead of this. Get some good headlines. Get some new members. Get some enthusiasm. But not surprised that they didn't. And I'm really bummed out, guys, not only by what they said, but I really wanted to use my wedding ring as a prop, and I was cutting chicken before the show, and I left it in the kitchen. So I know I was all going to be pointing at the wedding ring and all that, and I left it in there.
You know what's there, John? Just take a pen. Just draw it on with a pen really fast.
I wear it every moment, every day, and I was like, oh, crud, right when the story started. Okay. All right, Tesla has some interesting new job titles. They do things a little differently over at Tesla. So Elon Musk is dropping the CEO in favor of Techno King of Tesla, which is a cool name. Their former CFO has now changed their title to the Master of Coin. Of course, a Game of Thrones reference, also fitting because they bought all that Bitcoin. So we wanted to have a little bit of fun here. Let's get Brandon Pope on in here. We're going to change all of our titles, and each of us got to change the title of someone else. So Brandon, I believe you had to pick for Felicia, and I can't wait for this one.
Oh boy, I'm sweating.
Yes, indeed. Felicia Lawrence. I thought a great
now,
title
Brandon,
for you would be.
Don't disappoint me now.
It
Look,
is
I'm
the
sweating there too.
The Baroness of the Beehive and all Beyonce adjacent matters. I think that
is a good name. It's a good title. Thank you.
What'd you get for Brandon, Felicia? What'd you pick for B?
Oh, I thought you were next, John. Who's next, guys? Because I don't remember.
All right, John, do me.
Full screen. John, okay, here we go.
So
who had this one?
I had this one, although that's not all mine, but it was mostly, I said Baron of Babel. Someone added Earl of the Emmy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cute.
That was funny.
John has Babel down pat. Yeah, now it's my turn. Okay, Brandon, this is what I deemed you. Lord
Okay.
of Social Programs and Societal Standards.
Ah,
And when I
okay.
say this, I want to put my pinky right here to my face. Lord of
Like
Social
so.
Programs
Lord.
and Societal Standards. And he has this name because I always see Brandon out when I'm out.
There you go.
I
There you
run into
go.
Brandon in these streets all day long.
The social chair. Yes, indeed.
You guys
Yes.
were all really nice to each other, and I'm feeling bad about what I labeled Amy.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Thanks,
boy.
John.
Well,
The
I got to
Supreme
back
Lady
up.
of-
This is, yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead,
wait,
John.
this wasn't the one I picked. Is this the one you picked,
Yeah.
Felicia?
Yes.
Well, because I like rules.
Yes,
I do like
this
rules.
is the one that I picked. The Supreme Lady of Tardiness and Regulatory Standards. Because Amy
Supreme.
is a regulator.
I do. I like rules. Keeps everybody
I
in line.
understood.
Got the
John,
plan.
you had another one. Which one was yours, John?
I said the vice president of Fun Sucker. I mean, that's what we
No.
come on.
Because how many times have you ever been out with me, John Hanson?
No, you're right. It was
Why?
mean.
She's going to be the
Dang.
one hanging from chandeliers. But we
Yeah.
said the same thing different ways, John. You got to finesse things sometimes. Amy is a type A personality, which is a great thing
Yep.
because she keeps the rest of us in check because no one else here is no one else here is a type A. So she is the
John, such a
regulator of
bully.
standards.
That's
What a
true.
bully John is. Wow.
He
Wow.
is a bully.
Who is this man?
Good thing I got thick skin too, so we're all good.
There we go. There we go. Hey, guys, coming up next, another fall from grace after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Oprah interview and how the Miracle Center continues to empower Chicago's youth through performing arts. More of the jam coming up after the break.
The Miracle Center began as a creative dream for a single mom to spend more time with her son. Now it's a thriving arts community in Chicago. Mary Santana is the founder and executive director of the Miracle Center. She joins us. And Mary, I think that the stage is the great equalizer for anyone to jump on there and be vulnerable. And you've given a gift to so many people. It must fill you, your staff, the whole crew with a lot of joy.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
So, I mean, you guys have all sorts of programs. You've done it for so many years. For those that haven't had a chance to see a show or be a part of it, walk us through what you guys do.
We're actually an arts community center. So we do a lot of theater productions. We work with about 90 to close to 100 teens throughout the year. And we put on about 4 shows throughout the year. So we do huge theater productions for youth in the Hermosa Logan Square community.
I think a lot of people in different areas grow up in theater as an expected thing at their school and they're able to do it. But the reality is, with cuts and arts programs all over the place, this is one of their only outlets, and what an outlet at that.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great opportunity for the Miracle Center. I mean, we've been in existence 25 years. We started off as a community center, and then we went into becoming a full-fledged theater company. So giving them the opportunity to get on stage, to do set, to do sound, to do lighting has been wonderful for us and for the students that we work with, not only the students, but the young adults and the adults.
Yeah, for sure. Talk us through what this past year has been like. Obviously, stage is one of the last things that's going to come back in full force, but you guys have been keeping busy.
Absolutely. Like I said, prior to us becoming a theater company, we were an arts community center, which we did a lot of different programs for our community. And then we reverted to going back. COVID hit, and we said, you know what, we need to really assess our community and see what the need was. So we started actually a food pantry. We worked with Grace and Peace Church, and we served about 400 to 700 families on Thursdays. We provided food for them. And then we started looking at our teens. They were on e-learning. And what we did was we actually partnered with St. Leo's University in Florida, and they provided counseling for our families, which they were individual, family, and group sessions for them. So that was really important for us to look at our families holistically and provide resources for them.
As you guys hopefully start to gear back up, do auditions, and eventually get back on the stages, what can other people do in the community that maybe want to, get involved in some way? What are you guys looking for from help for us, from anyone?
Actually, all kind of things. I mean, just because our programs right now are still online, virtual. So our kids are doing cabaret. They're going to do a cabaret style event at the end of this session, but we still need help here at the center. I mean, we're still doing sets, we're still doing costuming. I mean, actually even coming to volunteer to help, even to clean the center. There's a lot of things that we have still to do here. Although the students aren't here, we're still here working.
Well, you're doing incredible work. You've been doing it for a long time with a lot of big names associated with it too. Mary, congrats. Thanks so much, and good luck in the coming weeks and months, okay?
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And the Miracle Center located at 2311 North Pulaski. And for more information on the programs, themiraclecenter.com is where you go for all that and the ways you can help on out. Brandon.
All right, news you need to know. The royal family drama continues. Buckingham Palace has appointed an outside law firm to investigate claims that Meghan Markle bullied the royal staff, and it comes after the couple's interview with Oprah Winfrey. Page 6 reporting Meghan wants the receipt. She wants the palace to turn over the names of her accusers, and the Royal Rumble fallout spilling over here in the States. The daytime show, The Talk, on hiatus today and tomorrow after a heated Sharon Osbourne defended her friend Piers Morgan and his racist attacks on Meghan Markle. CBS says they're doing an internal review of the back and forth on the show. Osbourne later apologized on Twitter, saying, quote, "To anyone of color that I offended and to anyone that feels confused or let down by what I said, I panicked, I felt blindsided, I got defensive and allowed my fear, horror of being accused of being racist take over." If anyone saw that back and forth, I mean, she was very defiant and, in my opinion, was gaslighting the black people that were in the conversation with her by kind of flipping it back on them and playing the victim card. She's like, I should be crying, not you. So, this is going to be interesting to see how CBS handles this.
Yes, my goodness, did she? She 100% played the victim to institutionalized racism. Where's the irony there? Anywho, I hope that they do not kind of I'm going to use a made up word, corporate-fy, and close this conversation off to the public, because I would like to see them open it. This is a huge learning opportunity for everyone involved, because I think there are a lot of white people that can relate to how Sharon Osbourne felt and what she was saying, and they do not understand. And we all need a place to be able to talk about this if we plan on moving forward. The only thing, though, is that Sharon has to come to the table correct and be ready to listen, to learn, to observe. Everything that she did not do the first time, as she said, which is exactly what happened. She allowed fear and anger to overcome her. And secondarily, she was also not a good friend to Cheryl Underwood, someone who they both claim to be each other's friend.
Right.
You know, by telling her how she's supposed to feel and telling her that, you know, she doesn't get to be the victim here. And it was not a good situation. I just hope they don't close this opportunity for everyone to come to the table and learn together.
I will say this too. I did not see the exchange. I chose actually not to watch it because I just didn't like the way it was all laid out. But here's what I will say. We have to keep in mind too, just listening to your side of it, Felicia, too, is there are amendment rights here at stake, right? First Amendment rights. She's allowed to say what she wants to say, and I don't exactly know what all that was, but it is up to her bosses, the audience, and the public to tell her whether or not she was right or wrong, right? I don't think that. Ooh, I lost full power here.
No one didn't like what Amy said. Yeah, they turned her off. Canceling.
It's like canceling.
Why
right, John,
don't
you
figure
continue.
that
Culture in full
Yeah.
effect.
I'll figure this out. You do that.
You need to go pray,
just
Amy.
gonna-
Go pray right now.
All I was gonna
Cancel the
say
light
is,
bill.
if they canceled our show for 2 days every time I said something stupid, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yes, indeed.
That's all I
And on
got.
that.
Go ahead.
That's all you got. Okay. Hey guys, coming up, he said feminists would be mad, and he was right. We're breaking down the controversy around Bill Burr's Grammy jokes. We'll be right back.
No commute. Hopefully Amy fixed her light.
Go into the light, Amy. Go into the light.
No.
It's fixed.
Oh, good.
Good.
Okay.
Enough
talking
trouble
about?
already? Trouble already?
Right. Why is he telling jokes?
Okay. One of the biggest stories from last night's Grammys has nothing to do with music at all. It's the jokes that comedian Bill Burr attempted while presenting a handful of awards.
Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo? I can't say this name. Natalie what? All right. And the winner, the Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. Oh, please. All right. Hey, how many feminists are like going nuts? So why is this cis white male doing all this Latino stuff? And the Grammy goes.
Okay, so that's Bill Burr. He is off color. He has always been off color. And didn't they know who they were hiring to do this when they brought him on as a presenter?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they were trying to go viral for something that wasn't even on television, and they succeeded. Hire a comedian, get bad comedy sometimes, and good comedy.
Right.
Whatever. What do you expect?
Yeah,
This is
I
why
think
comedians
people
are not do it because of this, this criticism. But I will say it felt extremely off-toned, off-brand, and out of touch. It just didn't fit.
On brand
It's
with
on
him,
his
though.
brand. It's his brand.
I mean, I think at this point, people just like to be offended. Like it's like
Yes.
the idea of Twitter is like, let's find a new villain to create today and just heap anger onto. I'm not even sure people were that upset about this. This is Bill Burr.
Yeah.
This is what he
Well,
does.
it's not
He's funny. Like, come on.
I think he should have.
Don't like it, turn it off.
Yeah, I just think he should pronounce the names right. Like that's the only thing that bothered me. Like learn how to say their names.
Yes.
Like that's disrespectful.
Right.
The other jokes though, I
Agreed.
thought were whatever.
But
not
when-
that
when-
funny, but kinda
I-
funny.
He probably didn't know. I don't know if they give him peaks of envelopes. He probably didn't know who was gonna be the winner to practice that name. But it's only five, six names in the category,
Right.
so that's something you kind of double check just before you go on and be like, "Hey,
Maybe
does
they
anyone have an
shouldn't-
idea?"
Maybe they shouldn't shove the people of color categories to the non-televised portion of the show.
Oh hey, now you're speaking something. Yeah, there you go.
Word.
All right, all right, all right. It is a Monday evening, a snowy, weird Monday, actually. Hopefully that all melts really soon. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah,
It's
it'll
as
melt.
weird as my shirt. It's like a turtleneck with no sleeves. I mean, when do you wear
You
it?
said it.
How does it work?
Mock neck.
Mock neck. Well, it's like it's snow, but it's warm, but not really. It could be spring.
Right.
Could it be spring? Maybe.
Kind of.
Nope,
That's
snow.
Miss Felicia Lawrence, Mr. John Hanson, and myself, Amy Rutledge. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Happy to be here. Okay. President Biden took to TV to announce 2 huge goals today. 100 million shots, 100 million relief checks, all in the next 10 days. This is all a part of his administration's Help Is Here campaign. Biden said shots in arms, money in pockets. And Wells Fargo and Chase Bank say they will not start processing federal stimulus direct deposits until March 17th, regardless of when the money is available. These banks say this has been the direction given by the IRS, even though other banks have already started delivering relief money. So you got to wait a couple more days, okay? And Moderna is already working on a new version of its COVID vaccine. The new version would potentially only require refrigeration instead of being frozen. And maybe only 1 dose would be necessary instead of the 2 doses needed now. So it could make things a little bit simpler.
That would be wonderful because we could get people in and out and back out on the streets and, getting life a little bit more back to normal faster. The stimulus checks. I'm confused by the delay by 2 banks and not all of them. So is the IRS pinpointing 2 specific banks, or is there a problem in the communications?
Yeah, it's way above my head. It's just a couple days. Thankfully, it's not weeks because obviously it's a lot of money, but that people need. I think my bank is one of the ones that is also waiting. At least that's what my checking account says. Look, we're getting a lot of great COVID news. This is awesome. The only worry that I've had is if you've been watching the EU recently, where these variants have spread a little bit more, they are getting a little third wave here. Now, our vaccine numbers are better than theirs, and I think we're doing pretty good at social distancing. So that's the only reason that I am a little hesitant to be completely optimistic. But in general, we're still in great shape, everyone. Keep it up.
Yeah, but let's see 2 weeks post St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
Girl. Fingers crossed. And I think it's just so unique. They're clearly doing a whole, and I'll use this word lightly, but a whole branding behind this Help Is Here campaign. Like they're clearly launching a campaign to get the word out, to send the message that they are on top of it. And I think Biden is trying to send a clear message to the American people. I don't think, obviously, all of this is extremely intentional. It's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Not only President Biden sending the message, but all the living former presidents have appeared in an ad encouraging Americans to get the vaccine, except for one. See who's missing.
I'm getting vaccinated because we want this pandemic to end as soon as possible.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
So roll up your sleeve and do your part.
This is our shot.
Now it's up to you.
Look, it was Jimmy. Jimmy was there.
I know, in his 90s with Rosalind too. Married forever. They're amazing. Great ad. I think that's awesome. 2 political parties, but obviously no President Trump. Dr. Fauci himself has said, and I agree completely, it would be so helpful if the president came forward and said, get the vaccine, because a recent poll showed 47% of Trump supporters, people that voted for Donald Trump, will not get the vaccine versus 10% of the public that voted for Joe Biden. President Trump got the vaccine with Melania in January and didn't tell anyone. It's like the weirdest story that nobody is talking about. And he wants credit for the vaccine itself. So clearly he's proud of it. You remember his tweet on it's like typing on a typewriter and then sending it out to other people to tweet, hoping that that I got you this beautiful shot. He tweeted that last week. Didn't tweet it. Sorry, he typewritered it out. But
it's like
so weird. It would help. It would help.
Even when you have, here's another sports reference for my 8th grade basketball players, even when you have an easy layup to be a hero, you can't even do that. It's so easy. You got the vaccine. It's just, it's so easy. And another missed opportunity. It makes absolutely no sense. It's somewhat hypocritical, just failing the American people in another way. Like, all you had to do was say, be healthy, get the shot. You didn't even have to mention mask or social distancing. Don't even mention that. Just say, get the shot.
Right. Let's be honest. Since October, there's been a lot of things that just don't make sense. So just chalk this up to another one. We will move on. The rest of the former presidents that are living, Republican and Democrats, both got their shots, and they are in the campaign together.
I know.
Yay.
Well, people love him.
Nice.
People love President Trump, right? And I'm one of the people that says, I don't know how much he did about it, but warp speed, awesome. It worked really great. He deserves some credit for leading the country, leading that part of the effort, I suppose. What are you doing? Like, Felicia, it's such an easy layup, and you would honestly save so many lives. Because if 47% of Trump voters aren't going to get it, and that's out of 74 million people, that's 38 million people that aren't going to get their vaccine. That is troublesome if we're going to try and move forward.
And he got it. He got it.
He got COVID and he got it. He's double immune, baby.
All right, I'm going to move on because I have nothing nice to say. And my mama says that don't say anything at all. Okay,
move on,
so
girl.
The airline industry hit a major milestone. In the last 4 days, 5.2 million people took flight. The highest number since this date 1 year ago, when we were just wondering in studio if we should take the bait on the cheap flights that were being rolled out.
Spring break is coming up.
Yeah.
So what can people do? What should they be looking forward to or scared of in the next couple of weeks?
Are the Broadway shows going to be happening? Is Disney World going to be open? They're definitely, obviously rolling out the cheap deals to fill these flights. But again, you just need to know what you're getting into and maybe just really keep an eye on how things progress.
Yeah, rolling out the cheap deals, but you might be rolling the dice too.
Yes.
Janine, thanks so much for stopping on by.
My pleasure.
I think
Look
at that segue. Look at that.
I miss the studio.
I was like, wow, look at John Hanson's full body.
Or not, or don't look too hard.
I haven't seen your legs in years, John. I haven't seen your legs in years.
There they are.
Whoa.
Wow, look, you still got two whole legs.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like a time capsule. Isn't that so weird to look at that stuff?
It's so weird, yes.
Because it's like, oh, will Broadway be open or Disney World? It's like, girl, the whole world's shutting down. Shut up.
Down. Who knew at that time? Hey, I want to mention, though, there was a really good article in the Washington Post about how pandemic has actually made airline travel better, talking about policies that have changed, more stringent cleaning standards, the elimination of fees, and those will likely be in place, those elimination of fees, for years. Plus, number of airports were able to get construction projects kind of railroaded through because the airports were empty, so they could work quicker. And so some good, at least in travel, came of it. Silver linings.
Okay, well, I will say on that cleanliness thing, I always felt like those seats and the seat belts and the little tray table, that always felt icky.
Yeah. George Carlin has it. If you ever get a chance to see George Carlin stand up about flights, it's amazing. Just saying that. Okay.
Do a little bit for us, Amy.
Nope, not appropriate. I just realized I was saying that.
You guys.
You guys know I don't love traveling, like the act of getting on a plane. I cannot wait till I can do it because I'm going to Vegas and I'm having a weekend like y'all never seen. Okay. Well, you both have probably seen it before. All right. So
yeah, I live there, so I've seen it.
All right. There is a new tool that is going to help you get out of your Zoom meetings really fast. And guess what? It works. And the reason we know that is it happened to us today. Our producer Lily in our meeting trying to get out of with the new Zoom Escaper.
Yeah, I am too. What is that? That's weird.
I think you need to mute yourself, Lily, because some.
I gotta go.
No idea what you just said.
I can't make out anything.
Yeah. So that's not your TV set acting up. That is a set preset that you can do with this widget that is like an echo. So it takes what everyone else is saying, it starts echoing, and you immediately identify who's wrong, and then it's like, oh, I got to go fix it. There's barking dogs, there's weeping men, there's construction noises that you can do, and plenty other options.
Peeing.
And it had me. I was like, get out of here, Lily.
Yeah, they had the peeing sound, so it sounded like somebody behind you is peeing.
I left that one out on purpose, but Amy went for it. Cool.
I remember 14.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
enough of us already have enough distractions at home where we don't have to create them.
The
Right.
cool, although, John, I don't know if you mentioned the Zoom or the mute button that you can't tell you're muted. So it looks like there's really something wrong. Like you can't hear them, but you can shows. I love that one.
Yeah, for sure. I have you guys ever admitted here? I mean, this is a space we can be honest with each other here. It's just us together. Have you guys ever faked an internet problem? Not here at this station, but like, you know, at another thing during this pandemic, faked a problem, not being able to get into a meeting.
I haven't.
Get out of it.
No, because we want to make sure that we're on TV as much as possible for several personal reasons and non-personal reasons.
I was going to say
problems anyway.
Yeah. Well, so does Felicia. Maybe that was her widget for like 2 weeks. Felicia had the frozen power lines widget.
You want to fake for a day or two? You don't want to fake for 2 weeks. So no, because 2 weeks can have you out of a job. So there's a no on that one.
Right. Speaking of faking things to get out of things, Brandon Pope, I know, I'm sure has done that a little bit. Oh, the internet's down, something like that.
Never. One, I don't have a dog, so can't use that excuse. My internet is top notch, so you know I don't have that AOL dial-up Felicia's got. So you know, I'm honest Abe over here. That's what it comes down to.
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe. Honest B. All right, guys. Coming up, more history being made in President Biden's cabinet today. That's coming up in the news you need to know. We'll be right back.
Oh, this chick. Oh, thanks. The gender investment gap directly hurts women's wallets. Director of Investments at Stash, Mindy Yu, is here to talk about how women should set themselves up for long-term financial success.
Women are earning less on their investments compared to men, and it's because women aren't investing as much as men. And it's due to a number of factors, one being women tend to live longer, so they have to spread their earnings out for a longer period of time. And second, women earn less. So essentially, they have less to contribute towards their investment. So these are the factors and some of the factors that are widening the gap and why we encourage women to start investing as soon as they can.
And your company, of course, has mentioned the study from Money Found, the report that said this could be costing women over $1 million over the course of their careers. I mean, let's talk a little bit more about that and what we're seeing and what attitudes, what factors you think contribute to women not getting engaged.
Yeah, and that number is so shocking. But some of the barriers that have existed historically have created some of the reasons why women haven't started sooner. So in our survey, we also found that some of the reasons why women have not started were, number one, they think you need a lot of money to get started. And second, they're afraid of investing because of the risk and they don't want to lose money. And third, they just don't know what resources or where to get started. So I think these are some of the barriers that have created that shocking $1 million for becoming something so real. And over time, platforms like Stash have evolved the industry where some of these barriers can be broken down, and we want people to know that these barriers are no longer the case.
Let's talk about what Stash is doing to try to combat this and close that gap.
One of the reasons why we created Stash was to make investing easy and affordable for everyone. And for women, that first barrier that you need a lot of money to start, it's not true, especially on Stash. You can get started with as little as $5. Think about it as a cup of coffee with your friends, and you can actually take that and redirect it into investing. It's no longer the case that you need thousands of dollars to get started. And secondly, there's the risk that comes with investing, and we know that it exists. So we're here to guide you and provide the educational resource and personal guidance to help navigate you through some of the risks and then also help you get started, because we want you to know that you're not alone in this process and we're here to help.
A lot of women, not only is there a lack of knowledge, but psychologically, it feels as though it's just not set up for women to succeed. How do you think we fight that?
It's really finding that support. I think the more you have conversations about investing, the more you feel empowered and that you're not alone and others are doing it with you. In that survey that Stash conducted, we found 60% of women don't have other women to speak to. And that's alarming because we want to have others to speak about investing as you would about, grocery shopping, for example. We really want to encourage that conversation and know that you're not alone and you're not the only one investing. We are a huge community that we're here to help with that process.
Okay, Mindy, before we go, what's the best way for women to get involved and to try to help close that gap?
Definitely. And it's really having the conversation, learning about investing and just getting started. And you can find out more details on our website, stash.com. You can find details on how to get started.
Mindy Yu, Director of Investments at Stash, thank you so much for joining us.
News you need to know. Derek Chauvin's defense has asked that his trial be delayed and moved after Minneapolis's $27 million settlement with George Floyd's family. The defense is concerned about the language used by city council and the pretrial coverage impact on jurors. 2 men have been arrested and charged with assaulting Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who died after responding to the January 6th insurrection attempt. And another historic moment for the Biden administration as New Mexico Congresswoman Deb Haaland is confirmed as Interior Secretary. She becomes the first Native American to hold the position. Haaland also made history in 2018 when she became one of the first Native American members of Congress. And after the break, I talked to actor Ashley Walters about tonight's return of Bulletproof to CW26. Well, Bulletproof is back on the CW for season 3, and the British procedural drama is starting off with a bang. Creator and star of the show, Ashley Walters, talked to me about what he wants fans to experience, even if this is their first time checking it out.
These things don't end well, yeah.
It had to be of the level of things that we've grown up watching. And those things came from you guys, essentially. You know, that was Lethal Weapon. That was Starsky and Hutch. That was Bad Boys. You know, those are all things that were really relevant and prominent in our mind when we were creating it. And we fight to make sure that we have those elements in the show every season. This season, we go to South Africa. Literally, first day on the beach, about to sit down and enjoy some fun, and something goes wrong.
This is a 3-part season premiere. Definitely going to be exciting. You can check out the season premiere of Bulletproof tonight, beginning at 7 p.m. on our sister station, CW26. We'll be right back.
Uh-oh, you know the music is trending hot takes. That's right, Krista Green is on vacation this week. Her and her boo are going to be making hip-hop music videos all week long. Yes. We'll have to figure out if that's actually what's happening. But anyways, let's start it off with Beyonce. Obviously, she is so strong. She didn't even need straps to keep her mask on at last night's Grammys. People were going crazy, but we did, and by we, I mean our producers did some digging. Turns out too good to be true. Look at the right. The one on the left's just a well-timed screenshot. There she has it around her ear. But if anyone can do it, it's Bey, right, Phil?
It is Bey, and she is my Bey. And if she needed me to hold her mask up that whole time, I hold it up just like that. Just so it turn everywhere that she turned. I just love that woman. She's amazing. That's all I have to say. It's my hot take.
And this is what happens when we put celebrities on pedestals that are way too high. Because, I mean, come on.
Now, wait a minute. This is the queen, though. This is the queen.
Amy.
I mean, okay, but I was like, well, maybe you could use fashion tape to keep it on your face if the straps were bothering your ears.
Oh, that's a good tip. I actually like that one. But I'm going with Phil with the hot take there.
And we're bringing a technicality in and don't try to take away the queen's magic. She's magical.
That hot take is over, Felicia. You already won it.
Okay,
obviously, right. There's obviously nothing okay with workplace harassment. Let's get that out of the way. But some people are now wondering that in this new age, is there going to be any more workplace relationships in general amongst consenting coworkers? Or are people so worried about this now moving forward? B. Pope.
Yeah, I think workers that should be dead. Why mix your spaghetti with your catfish? That doesn't work. You got to have things separate.
Okay, I get what you're saying. That metaphor doesn't fit.
Amy?
You think about how much time you spend in a day at your work, it's bound to happen. And there are some very lovely members of my family who would not be here had it not been for a workplace romance.
Whoa.
And I mean my extended family, not my house, not me.
Oh, okay. I was
right.
like, when did Todd work in TV?
No, I can't tell you because I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just saying. I have lovely people in my family who would not be there.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to play with fire. Just let it go. Date somewhere else. Grow up. Get a little mature.
No, Amy gets
Why
the point
is
for
it
that one.
growing
It's
up?
No, it's Amy for that one.
Get
1 to 1.
mature. It's playing with fire.
Why is
All
it
right.
mature? What if you work in a company where there's like thousands of people?
Stop.
Anyway.
Referee. Okay.
I don't understand.
Got it, Dad.
I'm gonna skip to the fourth story just because. So 6 referees were slated to work the NCAA tournament. They have been sent home from Indianapolis due to positive COVID tests. This just came through. Fingers crossed they can get this tourney in, because who you got in the tourney? Let's start with Brandon Pope for this one.
A Big Ten team will win a championship for the first time since the year 2000. That Big Ten team will be the University of Illinois, ILL.
Ooh, Amy, who you got?
I.
Oh, okay, so you're going with Illinois. All right.
He said IL.
Felicia, who you got? You got Loyola? Who we got?
Okay. I mean, I don't care.
You're like, what was the question?
Okay.
Brandon gets the point, and he gets the tiebreaker point as well. Give him another day. He is the winner
Illinois,
of Jam's Hot Take. Yeah, there
I
you
just
go.
be ruling hot takes. Woo! Yes.
Get into this one.
Well, also because
Need a hot
Brandon's
take
team
stroking.
lost this weekend to Illinois, so it's kind of like, easing the wounds.
He sent me a
It
very
is,
nice
it
text, Brandon. I appreciate that. That was very kind of you.
Of course.
Can we just
I'm on the
talk more about
bandwagon.
Beyonce?
We'll get to that eventually. You know we got more Beyonce tomorrow, I'm sure. You'll definitely suggest it. We'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Beyonce.